King Charles, where are you? Your people are shouting, crying, begging for help, and yet you stand silent while this country is torn apart. What good is a crown if it doesn't defend the nation? What good is a king if he will not stand with his people? This land is not theirs to destroy. It belongs to the people, the workers, the mothers, the fathers, the veterans, the builders, the farmers. We carried this island through wars, through hardship, through centuries of struggle, and we will not watch it be handed away by weak men in suits. Your duty is not to them, Charles. It is to us, to Britain, to the very soul of this nation. If you will not rise, if you will not speak, then you will show the people that the crown has become nothing but decoration. So hear us now. Your people demand action. We demand a king who protects his country. Britain is calling, Charles. Answer, or history will remember your silence.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain, and this is Logical Rant episode 2, and it's really piggybacking off where I left off earlier on. Looking at what's going on all over the United Kingdom at the minute, it's actually much bigger than that. Even out here in Spain, the current Prime Minister, Sanchez, who's in charge, there is uproar all of a sudden going on out here because of what he is now allowing in. It's happening in Sweden. It's happening in Germany. In fact, I was speaking to a German fellow at the oxygen spot that I work at. What day was that? It was yesterday, in fact. Hold on. Sunday. Speaking to a German fella about what's going on in Germany. It's going on in Italy. And okay, to be completely clear, is one specific problem. And that is illegal migrants. So people that by their label illegal, that shouldn't be here, not only being ferried in, but then being treated to a much higher standard than the residents of these countries. Now, looking at the United Kingdom, some of you may know that there's a hotel in Canary Wharf, 4-star hotel, cost a bomb normally to stay there. Most of us couldn't afford it. Yeah, it's been for months now, being filled up with illegal migrants, people, again, right, logically, that should not be here. They're illegal. They have no right to even be here, yet they're given more rights than you, your kids, your grandparents, your mum, your dads. Because when it comes to things like healthcare at the moment in the UK, for normal, legally residing people that have been here their whole lives, generations, been here their whole lives, will find it an absolute nightmare to get a doctor's appointment. My mum, shout out to my mum, love you, mum. She recently had to go up to A&E. She's in the Midlands. She was there 7 hours, didn't get seen, just left it. Yeah. So Peter, it's been a long day. Yet you come in on a boat illegally, not supposed to be here. You get put up in a 4-star hotel. You get GPs on site, martial art training. What was the Irish dancing training? 3 meals a day, bed linen changed, full hotel treatment for nothing. For nothing. So, keeping it to the United Kingdom, that's going on all over the country at the minute. All over the country. Now, at some point, people are going to have enough. And it's already getting to that stage. People are getting to the point where, and I'm going to use Iran as an example in a second, where they're feeling so oppressed, so wronged by what is supposed to be our government looking after our best interests first. And we're talking about basic stuff that we're being denied and is being given out to these people that are illegal migrants. And keep saying that word because this is the thing at the minute. We're being bamboozled, it feels, by people that think they're clever or just think we're really thick. We can see what's going on. And people are having enough. It's getting to the stage where people, before long, are going to kick off. Now, that's not what I'm calling for. But how many more stabbings, grapes, essays of young girls are we going to put up with before eventually enough is enough and people start fighting back? I want to try and keep these rants based on logic and nothing personal. Another massive problem for me, which is for me at the core, this is what I hate the most, is the fact that there is a common denominator between these people that are coming in illegally, our governments, people that are already in our country and have been for years and years and years, but yet are showing a blatant distaste for everything about us, especially our women. And it is Islam. It is Islam. In Iran, so at the minute, I've got my mother and father-in-law are visiting. They came over to celebrate the Iranian New Year and my wife and my son's birthday. And my mother-in-law, she's in her 70s. She's now touching 80. My father-in-law, late 70s. So they decided, how was my wife? 47 years ago, they decide, not 47 years ago, sorry, 41 years ago, they decided that rather stay in Iran and put up with this new ideology, this new belief that was being driven into the Iranian people, Islam, they decided it was better that they paid a lot of money to have my wife, who was only 7 years old at the time, her older brother, shout out to you, Max, who would have been 10 or 11, so two young kids, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, to be smuggled, to be paid to be smuggled out of the country that they'd been in their whole lives, because this ideology came in and it took a grip instantly. It introduced a different type of law that has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with religion and their belief system. It's called Sharia law. Women were being stoned in the streets, buried up to their necks in the dirt. And then men, a line of men, 10 plus in a line with big boulders in their hands and more boulders at their feet, would literally stand there and throw stones at these women, bludgeoning them to death. Young people were getting hung every single morning in prayer time. So in the morning, when all of a sudden across the cities, big speakers would be blaring with these chants of people praying to their God, whilst at the same time, massive industrial cranes were being used to hang people publicly in the street for not wearing a headscarf, for saying no to that religion, to not wanting to be part of something that they didn't choose. They had a way of life that they'd been used to, enjoying their life, just like us in the UK, just enjoying what we class as freedom. Some basic stuff, what we can wear, what we can eat, where we can go. To all of a sudden being told, no, you ain't got these rights anymore. You now belong to us. And there's these new rules that are put in place that oppress you. And there's nothing you can do about it. In fact, if you fight back, you will be killed. You'll be imprisoned, often raped, and then killed. What we've been seeing recently with this tragic war, all wars are tragic. It's horrible to think innocent people are getting killed. What we're seeing in Iran at the moment is 47 years worth of people just having enough and saying enough is enough. And what is it they've had enough of? And again, remember, this is factual. This isn't me stretching or reaching or specifically just having a go for the sake of having a go. You can't say that nearly 100,000 people that have been killed, pretty much every single one of them that have been shot, they've not had guns. So they've been unarmed. And they've been shot. They've been going out into the streets to protest, knowing that they could well be a chance that they're not getting home to their families at night, but they've got to a point where they just cannot take any more, that they've got to go out and protest against Islam to the point where they'll be willing to get killed. Now that sounds so extreme, doesn't it? And who would think that in this day and age in the United Kingdom that potentially we could be up against that? We are up against that. It hasn't got to the stage yet where Sharia law is introduced, because with Sharia law will come a new police force. It won't be the British on the beat Bobby. In Iran, they're called Basijis, religious police. We're already seeing it happen recently. I played a video in Manchester of some Islamists riding through the city on horses, chasing some Iranian people down, actually, that were celebrating. And the British police doing nothing. You try and ride a horse into London. See how far you get. This is on our doorstep. And this is logic. This ain't a stretch. We are up against the illogical. Totally irrational. And logic is what we got to hold on to. We know logically what is right and what is wrong. We know that. We can feel it. What's going on in our country at the minute is wrong. And the level of how wrong it gets, all you need to do is do a little bit of research into what we're up against, and you'll realize just how dangerous it is when it gets in. Again, look at Iran. For 47 years, young girls have been raped, essayed, often under the guise of religion. Women in general been mistreated, their rights taken away, second-class citizens, told how they can dress, when they can talk. This is a really, really dangerous ideology. And the worst thing is it's managed to politicize itself into our political system. The Labour government is an Islamist government funded by Islam. On my first episode of the rant, I ended it by asking you to take a look at Keir Starmer's record of the pro bono, the free work he did as a defense attorney, and how he went above and beyond what would normally be the amount of free work, pro bono work you do. And look who he chose to defend. You can't write this. It's so in our faces. If this carries on, if this poison carries on seeping into the vein system of our country, it won't be long before your daughter, your mum, your wife, your grandmother will be forced to wear a headscarf. It won't be long before a certain time every year we'll be told that we can't eat during the day. They're already, in this last one, Ramadan, and there was a whole wave of this across the UK. People, often young men, videoing just your everyday normal British person, black, brown, yellow, pink, all different, eating, and the person, the Muslim who is choosing to be on a fast is filming these people. How fucking awkward and disrespectful is that? It's to start just videoing someone just whilst they're eating, but also telling them that it's disrespectful that they're eating because they're fasting. All of this stuff, you might think, it's terrible, but it's not really spreading or it's not getting big. No, it is. All of these little things that are being allowed to get away with, the marches, UKIP, an official, legal, lawful, registered political party, can't march through Whitechapel. On the same day when they're supposed to, over 1,000 Islamists, all masked up, all in black, extremely aggressive, can march through our streets and the police just walk alongside them. All of this stuff is logically building to a point where before we know it, it will be really difficult to stop it. But right now we can. We can stop this. And it actually, at this point, thank God, it's not through violence or anything like that. It's through voting. If we get into power, Restore Britain, Advance UK, UKIP, all three of them team up, then instantly this blatant strategical attack, takeover of our nation by this ideology, it stops. It stops. The only problem we have in the United Kingdom at the minute is all thanks to Islam. All the boats that are coming in, they're Muslims. More to the point, they're young, fighting age men. It's no women and kids. Young, fighting age men that are coming in where it has already been proven. And even if it was just one, it's one too many. Because remember, these are illegal we're talking about. We're not talking about legal, we're talking illegal. But many of them are coming that are on the run for doing horrific crimes in their own country. And seeking refuge in our country, taking off our welfare, getting put up in hotels, and then abusing our kids. It won't be long before it all kicks off. But before that, why not prevent that? What if we can win this and stop them from coming in, and the ones that are here, get them all fucking gone just by filling out a form? Because we genuinely can turn this around by voting. No violence. And that is logically the truth. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening. United Kingdom to Restore Britain.